Okay, here we go. So, I just want to preface the video by saying this is a learning process for me that I am simply recording, and if anybody watches this, feedback is always good. Let me know what you think. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. Let me know what I'm doing right. Let me know what you think. Um, so I'm gonna go through levels today. All right, and I started doing it last night, and a little bit of a head start, I guess. But in essence, I'm basically learning from Tino as far as this method goes, and it's just another kind of way of trading. I sent him my DXY, you know, my levels. And the feedback that I got was really good and put it into perspective for me. He said, when it comes to the levels, all you need to consider is when one level is taken out by a new one, as long as you have a clean break, then you are in a level. All right, so your chart shows level 1, a perfect break higher makes level 2, right? So we anticipate a retrace and then back up, which is what you have considered. Whether it plays out or not is irrelevant, but my understanding of projecting levels is valid, and he gave me a nice well done, and that made me feel really good, I gotta say. Good feedback. So we're practicing still, because the levels are probably the most difficult part of the method, because you never know what level you're in. Okay, but I'll take you through my thought process for at least this. Okay, so what we want to look for, first of all, before leveling up, is a W formation. All right, so you had a nice W formation right here. Okay, and then we would be rising up into level 1, and normally you would get a back test of the W, which you kind of did here. All right, on the 4-hour at least, you held the watermark. All right, and you've rode the 4-hour up throughout all these levels, right? Until you broke it up here. All right. So in essence, I'm thinking that now we're starting a different leveling process. So there are usually, but not always, 3 levels in the leveling process. Oh, my alarms are going off. All right. So rise up level 1, right, where you get lots of vector candles, and you can see that here, the market maker pushing price up into the level, and then that would be level 1 consolidation. All right, where you would get a stop hunt into the next level. So they don't want anyone following them up into the levels. All right, so where's my stop hunt? Right here, stop hunt, vectoring down, sucking it back up on the 4-hour, pin on the 4-hour. That's a huge clue. All right, right here. All right, and you can see that. I know my levels. Where am I bound my boxes? There you are. Come on. All right. I should probably make it a little more transparent, but yeah, stop hunt. All right. And on your 1-hour, it's even more clear. Okay. So you got a nice stop hunt. Here's your W, and then you actually held your 50 EMA back up into level 2. And level 2 is great for trading. All right. But it's very choppy and basically a manipulation level. All right, and then we got another stop hunt out of that level. All right, also there's usually 3 hits in the levels, 3 hits to the high, 1, here's 2 hits actually, 2, 3, but 3 big hits were had. All right, in the level, and there's levels within levels. All right, and then once we stop hunted here at a level 2, stop hunt level 2, anyone that gets it right, because you had people going long here, going long here, going long here, but this line really didn't break any of these previous levels besides this one, right? You had 3 hits to the low, all right, 3 hits to the high, all right, where you got a stop hunt, a W formation into your level 3. We're level 3 here, and now here's where it gets a little bit, confusing. I mean, look at how small the level is, right? But in essence, that's your peak formation, all right? An M formation at the peak of the greater picture, all right? So right now I'm considering that I'm in a new level here. All right. And of course, there's going to be levels within levels. And I did the levels in this red box here. And it's peak formation. This is, level peak formation drop. That's consolidation. You dropped into another level and you never really visited it. But you visited it here. All right. On your 1 hour. But this is a stop hunt for anyone who is getting it right. Right. Because don't forget, good traders, once they see this formation, they'll sell the rises in the downtrend. So they sell this rise, and then level 2 consolidation here, right? They'll move their stops down, all right? And then they need to be stopped out. So that's just a stop hunt, all right? Out of level 2 going into level 3, all right? So now we have a level 3 drop inside of this larger level, all right? Now, if you got 3 levels here, all right, let's just try to figure out the levels inside of the other levels, all right? Because there's levels inside levels, all right? So, in essence, you can come over here, all right? Inside of level 1, here, in the greater scheme of things, you got just your straight rise, and there are 3 levels in here, but you got, this would be level 1 right here. Level 1 straight rise. And these are leveling up in essence. This is the way I'm thinking about it, at least. Where we've come into level 1, all right? And you got level 1 rise. All right? Level 1 rise probably would end right about here. All right? When you finally come into your level. Okay? And we'll make these boxes white inside the levels. Now, here's your stop hunt, right? This happened fairly quickly. People didn't know what the hell was going on. I mean, we were in a massive, you gotta realize where you're coming out of, all right? You're coming out of this, so just, you have to have some perspective, right? This is very ambiguous. This is very flat behavior. And all of a sudden, you cross on your 1 hour for day trading, and you're coming into this week, so you just gotta think about this, You're riding your 50 EMA, and you get to your 200 EMA, and then, you're like, whoa, and then all of a sudden, when you cross above your 800 and all these EMAs come here, and then you get support here, and how long did you get support for? You got support for almost a full hour, and, you're looking at this going, is this really happening, like the cross here, like, holy crap, this level, you might want to even say what's where they cross is where the level started, right? You might even want to say it starts here, all right? You could even say that. It's very difficult. The levels are extremely difficult, but in essence, you got 1, 2, 3 moves up into level 1 here, all right? Now, there should be levels within levels, all right? Now, one might say that in level 1 here, this is your stop hunt into this level for anybody who was really late to the party. And it was a big party. I think it was like a 44% move up. So, you got your stop hunt, all right? And then you come out. This is the weekend, though. And that's the hard part. However, here's a nice W off the 50 EMA on the 1 hour, all right? Which would lead me to believe that this right here is just level 1 consolidation into here, all right? So you got your stop hunt. You got 2 stop hunts, actually, right? So level 1 consolidation. Where would my level 2 be? And I told you, you don't always get 2 levels, okay? Because here's your stop hunt into level 1. You got like basically 2 stop hunts. So really all you got was 2 levels here, all right? So here's your second level, in essence. Since this was the stop hunt, all right, because you didn't really get, you got a stop hunt there, stop hunt go, right? Stop hunt, rise, consolidate, rise, stop hunt, rise, stop hunt. All right, so you got a couple, I guess. But in essence, 1 level, 2 level, 3 levels. But this is all level 1. Very, very difficult. But if I had to put a level in here, you know. This is climactic behavior. All right. Someone might have shorted that. Okay, coming up there, 21,300. All right, which is basically where we're at now. All right. My last level, this one would have 2 levels inside of it here, where we never came back here. All right, and we stop hunted. You're gonna stop hunt. You want to stop hunt into your previous level. All right. So, in essence, this would all be level 2. All right. That would be level 2. So you got 2 levels inside of level 1. All right. Now inside of level 2 here, all right, you've come up, you've broken into your level 2, all right, and let's figure out our higher levels, because I do see three peaks here, all right. So in essence, this would be the peak of level 1, right? And a clean break into it. So you would use these right here. Like, you see how there's lows here, right? And you don't come back there. So right here, and there's a nice W there. So here's a level inside here. All right. More like that, right? Where you're kind of like peeking out above. All right, and here's a level here. Right? Where they're just peeking out above. And these are overlapping too, right? Which is really the confusing part in the grand scheme of things. And then here's peak formation at the top. That, you got 3 levels up in there, right? You know, one might, and then here's your W into your second level, right? And then at a level 2, you just got straight rise into level 3, stop hunt into W formation into your level 3. All right, so that's the way I'm viewing the levels at the moment. All right, and those would be, you know, they're levels within levels. All right, so like what I'm trying to figure out is what level am I in now? All right, so the levels are supposed to be, you know, more highly visible. In fact, if you come over to the 15-minute, they say that they're highly visible on the 15-minute and the 1 hour. Like, that's where you can see them the most. All right, so let's just go through the 15-minute on my level 2 up here on our rise up and see if we can see any patterns. All right, so we got a break into level 1 here. You did get a stop hunt. Okay. This is me. To me, this is the W going into level 2. Stop hunt, right? Stop hunt level 1, right? Here's your stop hunt. No one, we don't want to book, you know, we don't want anyone, you know, a stop hunt basically means, like, you know, get them out before we plan on leveling up, right? Here's another stop hunt, but a W formation, shift rise out, right? Stop hunt level 2 for anyone that still has it right from level 1, because we are going up to about 24K. And then you got your peak formation, all right, right here, M formation. And here's your consolidation, right? And then you got only 2 real levels of drop. I mean, you could say that this is a drop here, drop level 1, right? Drop level 2, drop level 3, W, as far as like this tiny level here, right? So this behavior right here, coming out of level 2, is a little bit like what we're seeing right here, all right? Going into the start of the week, all right? This behavior right here, all right? Because you got a nice peak formation and just constant dropping, all right? And you got a nice big W right in the middle, right? And then finally coming into peak formation of our first level of our drop here in the red. All right, the red is going to represent, you know, us getting down. All right. So again, here's your peak formation of our rise up, a big Batman, if you will, right? Stop, hunt low, stop, hunt rise, and we've consolidated back down into level 2 here, right? Stop, hunt rise, stop, hunt anyone from the peak formation, drop, and currently we are sitting here. So in essence, this behavior is being seen here, all right? So what would you anticipate? You would anticipate almost the same kind of deal, right? Where you're going to drop and come back up and form another peak formation here to get anybody who's got it right coming from level 2, to be honest, right? That's kind of like what you would anticipate. However, you got your news coming out tomorrow, all right? And everything is being prepped for CPI. And, CPI... on Tuesday the 14th, you got to think about it this way too, is this whole pump started on January 13th. All right? This whole debacle, this whole, move up started on really January 13th, right? Almost exactly a month before, and I'm sure that they understand that this is starting on, exactly a month before CPI comes out. So it's all prep work for that, to throw people off on where price will go next. All right? Well, in essence, we won't know. I'm not going to pretend to know. However, I've seen 3 levels of rise and 1 level of drop. And normally you get 2, right? But I've seen now 3 levels of drop in here. So this right here is a big zone at the moment. All right, so what we do here, and you don't have to trade. I mean, sometimes it's just fun to watch the price action. But one thing we also know is that the volume coming out, I mean, if you just look on your 16-hour, look at how many contracts he sold, and he has short here. They're net short, right? So to me, this is a setup, and CPI is going to be bad. I mean, that's the way I'm viewing it. I don't know, but in essence, that's kind of what it's telling me, all right? So after the news comes out, if this is drop level 1, everyone is going to want to get in on a short, all right? Where level 2 could be very manipulated, all right? Or you could just drop price, who knows? Because if you're looking, all right, looking here on your 16-hour, I mean, you got a big sell signal coming on your 16-hour. Your mustard is about to cross underneath your watermark. It's very bearish. Very, very bearish as far as EMAs go. All right? Well, what can save you? Your 4-hour. All right? On your 4-hour, you're still in your bottom level here. You got support. All right? And the good news is that London, what did London do? All right. So here's your start of the week. So, anytime you want to do this, all right, Asia has now set the high and the low of the week. All right. And intention. And cancel that. All right. Intention has been set as far as the method goes. All right. So right here, Asia set the low of the week. All right, this is where they opened and came down to. Okay, so you got your LOW, which we will make green. All right. This is now my low of the day and low of the week. But on Monday, you want to plot out the low of the week. All right, and you have your high of the week. And the high of the week for Asia, when they did come on, and they came on in Sydney here, actually. All right. Right here. 21,976. This is my HOW. This is my high of the week. At the moment, as far as when the market makers came on to duty. On to duty. All right. Make sure I got this right. Sydney. Right. We didn't come below this See how you got your double bottom? All right. Nice double bottom here. Okay. This is the low. Not that. This. All right. So now you got London. All right. London on the 15-minute time frame. What's going on? All right. Very interesting levels here. They're really messing with them. They're doing a good job. It's really interesting to see. All right. Right here. All right. And right here, Sydney. Perfect. All right. There you go. So right now our trading range is 21,979 to 21,676. And you might ask yourself, you know, why did London come out of the brinks and vector down? And this, in essence, is a long setup. All right. This is definitely a long. And I know you might be thinking, well, you're in a downtrend and all that other stuff. However, the method says if you get a W below or near the low of the day, right? I mean, this, you would want to take this long. You know, you could use the high block here and go, okay, what the hell was going on? This was last night. You know, you had some long liquidations over here, 21,100. All right. You got some up here. So let's just update this and see where we're at in the last 12 hours as far as day trades go. All right, so you see how we've eaten a pool of liquidity here. All right, price is drifting up, and if you ask yourself, you know, are they trying? What kind of contracts are they trying to build? It looks like they're trying to build shorts. They're trying to induce the shorts, to be honest with you. You know, and you got a couple big pools of liquidity up here from the shorts. It looks like they're playing with the shorts, right? You want to you don't want to counter their setup, right? So they're setting up somebody. They're either setting up longs or setting up shorts. All right. So, you know, weekend behavior is whatever. I thought this was a W originally. All right. Actually thought we W'd out back in New York, right? In essence, it's still valid. This is still a W formation, and this could just be consolidation. But I'm just going to go with what I'm seeing right now in the new week and say that we are now between our psychological high and our psychological low, and we have a nice W formation below the low of the day where it would be your job to take a long from, okay, to the high of the day. That's the strategy. You take a long from the low of the day to the high of the day, right? And that's a percent. And that's your day trade, and that's where you would exit, and you don't hold your position more than that coming out of London. All right, and you would want to be out in about 45 minutes. Okay, that would be the strategy. I'm frozen. All right. So, but also there's other rules to consider. All right. Here, we're back. There's other rules to consider. And other things to take into account. All right. Although I do have a W formation, you would want to see a break above the 50 EMA, right? Right now, this is all very bearish. However, they know that, okay? So they love to form their W's below key moving averages and then shift out of the zone. Right now, we are getting that shift. That is a nice, you know, red down candle hammer, right? And I like those. You're hammering off your ketchup and mustard. If you can get a nice shift out, there you go, right up here to where London starts. And London could be making, you know, two reversals here. Here's your first reversal in London, and then they'll pass it off as a reversal up here, where they can decide what to do. You know, where New York can decide what to do. But that's why you want to be out before the New York Brinks comes. All right, because you don't know what contracts have been built up here, but we do know that a big pool of liquidity has been taken right here. Is this the right time? Let's see. What time was this? This is a nice pool of liquidity that they can move away from. 21,400 at yesterday at 10:24. Yesterday at 10:24 p.m. Asia and London went after that. Yeah, right here. I don't know if that time is right. Does that make sense? This looks like the pattern right here. The times don't make sense on this. 10:25. That's not right. But in essence, the price is right. And that's what matters, right? So 21,400, 21,400. And what we also know is that when they hit a pool of liquidity, the price tends to move away from it. We also know that we got 3 hits, 3 vectors to the low on your 15-minute, 3 vectors down, and then you get a W. That's a setup. All right, that's a setup that you can take. All right. So, Mondays aren't great for trading, to be honest, right? You want to let Mondays go. But if you were going to trade, you would take a long from the low of the day to the high of the day. And that kind of makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Because the high of the day is up here, and it's funny how London didn't break that. They just moved away from the psychological high. All right? So it's very likely to me that London brings it back up here, right above the psychological high, and then you can get another New York reversal back down to the low of the day. So there's your 2 trades, right? You got your low of the day to the high of the day, and let's see what New York does. If they don't break the high of the day, okay, out of the Brinks, then it's likely they're just going to trade inside the psychological ranges inside of here, right, and come back down to the low of the day and really have no change at all, which makes sense because why would you change anything going into the news? All right. However, all right, in the grand scheme of things, where are you at, inside of the larger picture? All right. Here's your retail trend line, right? They draw this out and they all FOMO short here. All right. So one thing we really, you got to stop hunt in New York here, right? You did get a stop hunt into New York. All right. I mean, if you move this level down here, right, and you move this level here, right, there's your stop hunt, right? You come up, stop hunt, rise, drop the level. All right. Now, the thing is the setup, right? You're in a massive downtrend, okay? And you get stopped out. And then the trend continues. And if you have it right, you went short again in London over here. All right? Where you see all this behavior. And they gave you plenty of time to get you to take that short. All right? Because, you had all this time in here, right? In London and New York. And you've never made a higher high. And then when you came back up, and they stop hunted high in New York, you might have taken that trade. So to me, this is a stop hunt region right up in here, where they currently have longs built. All right. Now they can come back up there in last week's high. So, and this is the hard part about seeing where price is going to go. In essence, I have no freaking clue. But what do I have? I have a little bit of a W formation here, right? This could be considered a W, where New York has kind of passed it on. So we'll see what New York does. If they're forming the W from over the weekend, like they do over here, right? Kind of like this, where you're going to get this behavior from level 2, but actually shift back up, right? In essence, you would see this behavior, right, and see a drop, where some people might think that's going to happen. And whatever you think is going to happen is most likely unlikely to happen. All right? So, what can we project? I mean, shit, it's a fool's game, but we do know that there is liquidity up here. All right? all the way up to 22,000. Look at, there's like $1 billion or so up there. All right, and then if you go to your 7-day, which can give you an even better picture. Let's see what our liquidity is looking like. Because depending on where they move price today will give you an idea of what CPI is actually going to be like. All right. All right. Now you might look at this and go, well, there's this big, region right here, right? $3 billion sitting above $21,000. It's close to that. However, like, look, you got a nice W here, right? A nice W right here, and now you're kind of drifting out. All right. Now you got 3, another 3, so that's 6. There's 8, right? There's like 10 billion just sitting up here. All right. Now, that's liquidity if they want to liquidate them. That means their stops are down up in here, right? And if I had a liquidation at 20, under 24, I might put my stop just below 23, right? And there is billions here, right? If you just count up the little bits, right? Where you got 2, 4, 5, 5.5, 7. That's close to 9, right? That's freaking like 10.5. There's 12, right? There's 14. There's 14. There's 16. There's 16. There's 17, 18, 19, 20, right? There's $20 billion of short liquidations just sitting in this region. Okay, there's 20 billion there, but there's only 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's double the amount in here than there is here on your 7-day. All right, so my bias is to the upside because that is where the liquidity lies. And in essence, I have to bring things up before I bring them back down to realize a return on my shorts. All right. So here's your 3 levels of drop. All right. And if we're going to cycle through, all right, there's our level 3 drop where we would need to create another W. Okay, now the weekends are tricky because look, you got your peak formation over the weekend here, drop, peak formation, you got your consolidation drop into their levels. So that's why waiting for Wednesday or Thursday before you make any moves, because if they come up here, to me that's a good short, even if it's close to CPI. You can still take a short from the initial low of last week. All right, so. Going through the levels, though, because this is all about levels, all right? You've had level 1 here, level 2. Now, to me, this whole red box is the peak formation drop, right? I only have 1 level here, right? I have 3 levels in here, right? So now, are these the 3 levels of drop, and we're not coming back down? Because right now you're sitting in a very interesting area. You're right between level 2 and level 1, and anything can happen in this level. That's why you wait for the news. Because whatever the news is, and you can take that short, but you're not going to take the short until they stop out anybody who has it right. Because if they come back up first, right? Because in essence, you would think about this. If CPI was going to be good, they would come down and take out anybody who has it right over here, right? They would want to take out these levels. They would want to take out all of this because if CPI was good, all right, that we want to take these people out. But then again, you have all this up here. So do we come and eat this? Right? If they come and eat this, all right, this will go away and this will get thicker down here and create a pool of liquidity that they can come down fast into on CPI. All right. So, all right, let's go see what's going on. 5-minute time frame. Terrible time frame. You got your W. There's another rule, all right? Your low of the day, it breaks my low of the day. It's come back up, and you can take a long from here. All right, that was at 6:35 a.m. You don't hold your trade for more than 2 hours. So you've gone an hour, all right? You've gone an hour, and you would want to see a return within the 2 hours of the day trade, and that's all you're going to hold it for, all right? The good news here is that you got a nice W formation on your 5-minute. Pins to the low, shift out. You got vectors above the 50 EMA, and here's your entry. That is an entry, right? And you can bring this back up, right? Your take profit would be, one would be here, and the second would be your 800 EMA on your 5-minute time frame for 5-minute scalping, right? So you would enter now, and you would hold it there, 40%. All right, take half, take more, right? And then, you know, another percent. In essence, you're gonna get a rejection off your 200 EMA, right? But that right there, that's an entry. This is an entry. 25%. You know, 10% really, because of all the fees that you're going on very high leverage, right? But you got support. The next target is 200 EMA. Whether you get it or not is the risk that you're taking, because you also know that he has a short here, right? Also, you got your W, right? It's very likely that he stops hunts. See how that 5-minute candle is created right here? The problem here is that if this is level 1 consolidation, right, where you got your W, right, here's level 1 consolidation, you didn't really get a stop hunt. Here's your consolidation. You'd stop hunt down into here, so you'd wait for the stop hunt to enter. And I know that sounds nuts, though. You're like, why am I going to enter if he's coming back towards the low of the day? But it's very likely you get another one of these right here, over here, where he builds his long, stop hunts. You could stop hunt this whole region right down into here. Here's where you would want to take your long. So you would try to wait. Alright? Because right now the behavior seems like I'm missing it. And I don't like feeling that way. If I feel like I'm missing it, I'm probably not. That's, you know, because you're coming up to M2, which is resistance. He needs to stop hunt and then come up. And that's the pattern that you play. Now, whatever. If you miss it, you miss it. Because if you're not in here, right, when New York comes on, you could take a short from the high of the day. Although I don't think that's the best play considering all the liquidities at the top. Also, he could be moving up faster because there is liquidity up there, and he needs to get up there in a hurry before they close out there, before they can start booking profits. All right. Your best entry is right here, because he's built his long here, but he's got a short here. I would wait, because he could come all the way back down to here. Stop hunt all of this, because don't forget, these regions they're giving you time to make a decision on whether you want to go long. Okay? Now he's built shorts. He could come down here, stop hunt all the way down into here, realize a return on these shorts, still stay long, and then shift back up. Okay? Look at it stall. So funny. Yeah. Look at the gap. See that gap? That's made for a stop hunt, in my opinion. They love that. They love blowing out the volume. Blowing out the volume. And so then you got to ask yourself, see, he's built a short here. He's built a short here. He slowed it down. Why would he slow it down? He builds a long. But he's also built many shorts. He's built a long, and now he's slowing it down. All right, so in my opinion, you're going to get a stop hunt right here, right near last week's low, where everyone will want to take the short, and then he'll end up shifting out. That's the play. That's the Brinks. That's your Brinks play for New York. All right. In my opinion, London has ran a downtrend, right? But they're stalling right here. If they stall more, New York could set up the Brinks, bang, bang, and you head up, which would be a great trade going in for the next 24 hours, in my opinion. Okay, because then you'll be trading above the high of the week and realizing a return on all this. Because if you're on your hourly, they're long from here. All right, they are long from here. All right, and we do have people to stop out before you can continue with whatever the F is happening. Of course, this could all be fucking bullshit, and this is in essence been 3 levels of drop. Here's a nice W formation, and we are heading higher. That's also because you're at your 800 EMA, on your 1 hour. You're at your 200 EMA. This is a long setup also. You got pins to the low on your 4 hour. This is a long setup. I just don't feel like why go through all of this trouble up here? Why do that? It's very manipulated. A lot of distributing going on. They bought down there, they sold to you up here. This is a lot of selling. Look at all the selling. Selling, 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 selling. And then they've only bought here on your 4 hour time frame. On your 8 hour time frame, okay, right? See how they buy level 1? They buy level 1, sell in level 2. That's actually a sell in level 2, level 1, right? Here's another sell in level 2, level 2. Okay. Here is a sell to buy to get into a sell in level 3 at the highest point. And you see how they're selling a lot, in these levels. Now down here, you have a buy in level 2, only to sell for the stop hunt for level 1 inside of level peak formation drop. Okay? And now you have another buy. So what you would want to wait for on your 8 hour time frame is another red candle to confirm that they've gotten what they've needed and now they are short on the 8 hour time frame. All right? And in essence, if you're using your 8 hour, are you going to a nice wick above the 800 EMA on your 8 hour time frame would be dope, right? You got a nice stopping volume candle on your 8 hour. That tells you a lot, right? Why is he stopping it? All right. So now you got a nice W formation here on your 8 hour. W formation. Okay. Where you can rise up. Right? Level 1. Rise up. Level 2. And you might only get 2 levels. And you get a peak up there. Before dropping into this level. Okay? Because there needs to be... This is all level 3. Right? Level 3, right? Into another level here. Into another level here. because the business is starting over in essence. All right. The business is starting over. It's very tricky. It's just this gap is built here. You know, these blue vectors, he's blown out all of the volume. Level 3 should be violent and fast and hard to catch. Alright? Now, if this is now level, here's your W. Alright? And you're going to do levels now. Right? New levels. You would want to see them break into a level 1 here. And then break into another level around here. Okay, and then you can have an additional level here. But it'll be really, really small. Okay, where it stair steps up. And that is where you would want to find a short. The reason is because they are short on the 8-hour time frame from this candle. So they might not give you that, because that's the last place they sold from. Which happens to line up with your 6 EMA on your monthly. I'm sorry, your 5 EMA on your 6-month time frame. Very interestingly enough. So to me, this candle is very telling. It's also a bounce off the 8-hour, where people would have taken longs. Right? No one went short from there. However, everyone went short when it crossed here. Okay? You can stop hunt that right into there. Right? Where you can make, you know, you're not going to give them this, because they're short from this candle. Alright? Going to lower time frames. Alright? See how they're short from here? They're short from here on the 4-hour and the 8-hour. However, they are long from here on your 4-hour with stopping volume. Stopping volume means we slowed it down. Why did we slow things down? Because we would have to come back to this area again in the near future, because we have to stop people out. Okay? And then continue down. So they build their longs, come back up, and really just going off, you know, vectors on the 4-hour time frame. What do you guys see? What are we moving towards on the 4-hour? I mean, on the 4-hour time frame, there's nothing up here. Not on the 4-hour, at least. There's nothing there. On the 8-hour, you do have some stuff up there, right? See how it gets all fucking weird? However, your 8-hour EMA is flat, right? And we were talking about the levels, all right? But in essence, if you want to talk more about the levels, all right? Come to your monthly time frame. And here's where things can get a little bit crazy, all right? When your ketchup crossed over your mustard, it solidified the end of this level 1 drop, okay? So here you got level 1 drop. All right, here's your M formation. So I guess you can include all that. But in essence, here's your level 1 drop on a monthly time frame. Okay? Because they don't come back to the levels. That's, in essence, the key. All right, clean break. All right, there's your level 1. All right, we've made a clean break into level 2 right here. And this is the peak of level 2. And level 2 is highly manipulated. Now, you can say you're going to get a stop hunt into level 3 before moving to your prior level. That is the case where, you know, why create stopping volume on your monthly if you didn't plan on stopping into it? okay, well, you come to your weekly, and you got support here on your 200 EMA, all right? And in essence, they did build this little long here, right? It is a little bit of long volume here on your weekly here that they can come back into, sitting at around $33,000. All right. So right now things are bullish. Momentum is in the favor of upside. I can say that for the most part, right? In essence, you do have upwards momentum. All right. Now, whether they need to come back up here or not is the question. Because we also know that anybody that shorted this bear flag, all right, was probably a really good trader. And they moved their stops down into the consolidation zone here, right? Which we really haven't come up to. However, they spent a lot of time consolidating in this region, right? Where you could have put your stops. After you've seen this and this drop, you would have put your stops right in here if I was a good trader, okay, on your weekly, right? Right above, not just the previous high, not just the past previous high, but right up in here, right? If I was short from here, why would they need to come up this much? They wouldn't, okay? Not if you were short from all the way up there. Right now, they've stopped you out, okay? And they've induced longs. I feel like they've stopped out the shorts from level 1 with this behavior, with this surprise move, right? Which in essence on your RSI would tell you that. Right? There's a fish hook, right? I've gotten this level here. I got him. All right? It's got him. You would want to see a back test of this down to here, but a back test of this, right, and it holds, would mean that you're actually coming down, way down into here, right? Because look at that. You're going to come all the way down. What's price going to do? It's going to come all the way down, right? $4,000. Just look at that. Just look at it. That's what it says. All right. So this is level 2. Level 2 hasn't broken its previous high, right? And in essence, you could even say that it has. This would be, yeah, that's what I got. Now in level 1 here, I mean, how many drops did you get on your weekly? I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, and you broke. All right, this one in level 2. I mean, if you're counting, this is the clean drop out, right, out of the levels, which can be hard. It's very, very difficult. The levels are difficult. All right. In essence, this is the bottom. Yeah. See, now this solidifies the level because of the EMAs. It solidifies the level. Like this was level 3. Now, that's on the monthly. On the weekly, you might say this is the level. And this is level 2. Right? But it's just, there's a lot of price action up in here. There's a lot of price action up in there on the weekly time frame. You spent time there. You even got a candle closure above. So to me, that's invalid. This is a hard drop. That's a clean break. This is not clean at all. This is clean. It's a clean break from the level into another level. You can see that here. Your little stutter step. Okay. Now, your EMAs here are telling you a lot. All right. You got a death cross here. All right. You got pins issued to my Fibonacci 200 EMA. Right. Your 233. All right. You got that there. On Binance, you got pins to the Mayo. All right. After a multi-level rise. Right. Right now, on Binance at least, you're getting support on your catch up, and you're moving away from it. All right, they've pinned the catch up. You're inside of the VWAP. All right, it's very tricky, very, very tricky, and I know a lot of people think that these moves aren't done and all that stuff, but this volume on the daily is very sus. Why sell so many shorts here? I mean, why go short from here? Why would you plan that out? To me, this is a plan. That this volume here, which measures tick volume, right? You know, large amounts of contracts being sold in a short period of time over these times, right? Why are they allowing people to take such big longs? I mean, you would say, well, yeah, they do that from time to time, right? Because they did that. Did they even do that at the start of the bull run here? You don't even see that kind of volume. You don't see that behavior in the volume, even anywhere in here. Right here, you would, right? Interestingly enough. All right. Interestingly enough, the last time you saw this behavior was right here, where you did get the drop. This is interesting, right? Very, very, very similar, right? Where we've sold a lot, we've come up, right? Technically, you're like right here. It's the same exact shit, right? Same exact shit, right? But why do this twice? Why would they do that? Wouldn't they sell you this here, right? Because they have shorts built in here. Here are the shorts they built. When did they realize the return on it? Where's the return? They realized a little bit of a return. You still got the drop. See how they still got the drop into the region? Right? They still will drop. Right now, you've come down to here. You'll come up and see how they come up into the region here. This is a very similar pattern. Very, very similar pattern. All right? This is where you have to decide what to do. And I think that's a good long, to be honest with you. Look, 10K. All right. Now the problem is there's some imbalance down here that needs to be handled. All right. There's a large imbalance here. All right, right in here. There's a large imbalance in the chart from all of this that you would want at least, considered. Because one of the problems here is also, I know this isn't the Binance chart or anything like that, but it's a good chart. You have all this stopping volume. Why are they stopping it on the daily here? Why? Why stop? To induce the longs? To give them, to sell them these longs? People made bank off that, sure. They paid themselves, great. But in essence, in here, where were you? At this time, you were the halving had occurred already. The halving, all right, was back here in May, wasn't it? Where's your halving? March, April. No, your halving had occurred already. See, your halving happened. Makes sense. Halving happens. They BART you out. Oh, excuse me. All right. They BART you out. And that's what's gone on. I mean, the halving happened, right? The halving happened in May or something like that, or March. Right? When was the last Bitcoin halving? I don't freaking remember. Right? Bitcoin halving dates. What are the dates? Dates, history, future dates. Alright, let's see. First halving, May 11th. May 11th. April, May. All right. There's a stop hunt into the halving. Anyone that's still around who knows what's going on. All right. They got you here. It was after the halving. All right. What have they shown you here? They've shown you that you get a deviation below, and this is what they're showing you is a potential to happen. All right. This is a promise they gave you last bear market coming up, right? And your 100, your 50 EMA and all that stuff. This is what you're hoping for, right? Right now. This is what you're hoping for. Okay? You're hoping for a big bear market rally. You could get it. But why do that here? Right? In variations on the theme out of these is what I'm looking for, right? You got this last time. Why would you get that again? Because it happened? To me, that doesn't make sense. Okay? So then you go back and you're like, all right, well, what happened in the previous bear market? All right? In the previous bear market, you got the opposite. All right? Where you came down, right? You had this consolidation, and this looks very, very different than now, right? But you came down, right? You came up, and you made a double bottom. So they gave you a double bottom, right? They gave you a nice, obviously that was the start of everything. It was very early during that time, right? Bitcoin pumps from here, never comes back. There's a nice stop hunt into another level, right? Never came back. They gave you this, right? They stop hunted this. It's fine. But they're showing you this now. They're showing you this. You know, even here, out of this consolidation, they're showing you this. All right? They're showing you a mad move up. Look at the levels. 1, 2, 3. Peak formation. Drop. Consolidation. Drop. Right? Level 2. Level 3. V bottomed out. All right? So the question remains is like, where are we now? Things are different now. I know this time is different is a meme. Okay? That this time is different is a meme. However, like to me, it's all one big setup. All right? And your EMAs are different now too also. You come over to your monthly, right? And you look over here, your 5 and your 13 EMA, you've just been chilling at for the entire history. That's all you've done. I don't think they've ever even crossed. Have they? Not really. There, you're right here. You cross your 5 and your 13, and you fall, right? But you spend time, right? And then when your 5 and your 13 crossed again, you were good. All right. So without the 5 crossing over the 13, there's really not much to talk about. There's really not much to talk about. Okay, that hasn't happened yet. That hasn't happened yet. Right now, according to this, as far as bear markets go in your monthly, you're still right here. Below level 1, right? Where you got 2 levels. You're right here. Nothing has happened yet. Absolutely nothing. Let's go back. Okay. Again, you're even right here. 2014. All right. Here's a level. Let's see. It's a little bit harder to tell on the monthly. That would be basically level 1. Right? And then a clean break into level 2 here. Okay? You've also held your 50 here on your monthly. Right? You held it. 2 pins on your monthly, you held the 50. Right? And then you got the cross. You hold the 50, get the cross. That's a great setup. All right? Then you move back in. Whoa. All right? You got all of this freaking... This is bad, by the way, all that. All this red here, that's not good. Those are vectors on the monthly. All right? On this exchange at least, you know? And you got a long here. The volume telling me that it wants more downside. Now, again, you held the 50. You get a little bit below. All right? Kind of like you do now. Right? Your 5 and your 13 cross. Your 5 never came below your monthly. Your 50 EMA on the month. So that's interesting to note. So let's just check that out. Where's our 5 right now? Below our 50. It's different. You've never had this EMA cross below your 50 EMA on the monthly. It's different. Okay? This time is different. All right? At least as far as moving averages go on the monthly time frame. So, I don't think it's that wrong to think that things are going to head further down into, you know, at least $5,000, $3,000. I really don't. I don't think that that's crazy. The levels here tell me a lot. This behavior mimics the beginning of a bull market. Okay? Now, the EMAs on the monthly tell me a story. This mimics maybe the behavior of the beginning of an extended bear market. Right? If they sold you this over here, right? And they're selling it to you over here, right? What's the trap? Who sees this? Greed, right? They want you to take this long. I want you to take a long. I'll show you the long. Just kidding. All right? Then you look at your momentum on your 5-day. And just look at your momentum where you were. All right? Oh, very similar, though, right? As far as market cipher goes. Interestingly enough. Go to something higher that's harder to manipulate. All right? Interestingly enough, you know, over here, at about whenever they sold you this crap, right? Look at the volume. They were long. Here they're short. Here they're slowing it down. All right? Your momentum had built, though. Do you see how it builds? It built from over here, right? And built up to that big move. This is just, to me, this is momentum building like it is over here. Like it is over here. You're just building even more of it. You know? Like, that's the way I'm reading it. You're just building even more of it. See how this is like a trigger wave? Like, this is a deep anchor wave from one bear market to a trigger wave in another bear market. But all you've done is make lower highs. These are trigger waves to the top side. Now, you could argue that you need another monthly trigger wave, right? You might argue that you're looking for something a little bit lower than this, right? If you're thinking of it in terms of momentum, right? Because you got all these. If you need to build momentum to get things to where they need to go, right? You got momentum building, right? From your tops, right? 2014 top, 17 top, 18 top, right? Here's, you know, an anchor wave, a trigger wave, right? you would think that you would get maybe a little something here, right? To send it down. Okay, as far as that goes. Momentum on the daily, kind of coming up. 22-hour green dot. Split RSIs, but to the downside. Very unlike when market ciphers split to the upside. It's 3 days, lovely. 6 day. There's something needs. This is reaching for something. That's what this tells me. This is reaching for something, but it doesn't have the strength on the 6 day. You know, they're not on your. This is an agreement on the daily that things are heading down. At least that's the way CryptoFace talks about it. All right, let's dive in. It is 8:30. Let's see what New York gives us on a Monday. And then we're building along on the 5-minute. Let's see if that stop hunt is working out. For your day trade. For any day traders. Alright, cool. There you go. Let's get the stop hunt. See how they hold price here? It get you to believe it's going to go long. But if you wait, and wait for this, wait for M1, because what they do today tells you a lot about what's going to do tomorrow. If they bring it up today, it's very likely CPI is bad. But if they bring it down today, you could get a good move up. And that would be a really good long. And a really good long, just like we saw over here. You know, if you look at the pattern. If you want to go on patterns and stuff like that. A really good long was had after you've claimed the majority of this, right? Look at the same pattern, right? That's the pattern, right? And what did they come down to? Right before where it pumped. So you just want to claim the majority of level 1. And this is a daily. So you see how you're getting pins on the daily? The pins will flip to the side they're trying to trap. Trap, 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 stop, 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 go. You know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stop outs. All right? This is the same pattern. Same pattern. All right? But again, you wonder, is this time different? Because this is the beginning of a bull market. Or we are not in the beginning of a bull market at this time. Not really. Not really. Not unless we are. Unless, you know, you never know if you're in a bull market until you're in one, right? And you don't know if you're out of a bear market until you're out of one. But in essence, like, there was no retrace, right? This over here, this pattern, right, came after a global catastrophe. That this is your bear market, right? This is your bear market in time that everyone's comparing it to. And then you get the rally. All right? This is bull market manipulation. Right? Bull market manipulation because I need to send it higher. This looks like the same thing, except it feels like the bottom is going to fall out, to be honest with you. That's what it feels like. Then again, what it feels like is more than likely what's not going to happen, right? Let's clean it up. Let's go to the 5-minute. Let's see if you get that stop hunt. Because again, if they bring it up today, that's not good news. If they bring it down today, that's really good news. it all depends on what they do today. If you see them start leveling up and start taking the stops and the liquidations of the shorts, it's more than likely not going to continue. Why build a pool of long liquidity down there if you're not going to come back down and take it before you come? But if you take it now, then it's likely you're gonna. That's a great long setup. Right off of your. Where would you want to look for a long? Also, look at, you got your 50 EMA and your 200 EMA, right? Here, is it the same spot really? You see how you were above your 50 and your 200 for at least a while? You were above it for a while. It was like that for a while, right? And then you hit the Mayo, right? You were above your 50 and then came down, hit the Mayo, go. That's where they filled their longs. Here, you're not above your 50. Your 50 is not below. I'm sorry, your 200 is below your 50. Here, your 200 is on top of your 50. It's the opposite behavior. It's just the opposite thing happening over here. All right? It just doesn't make sense for it to be couth. All right? As far as day trades go, I think the long here is actually the play for a day trade. Then again, I'm the worst trader in the absolute world, so absolutely terrible. All right, here's level 3. A clean drop into level 3. Now, if this is level 3, that's your level 3 high at the moment. But we know that level 3 and level 2, the level 3 will try to stop out level 2. So, here's your clean break into the level. All right. At that time, where you've kind of gotten a little bit of a W, but let's say that this is the consolidation into the level. All right. And you'd be looking for level 3, you know, right around here. That level 3 will happen over here. And of course, you'll have levels within levels within levels. Levels on levels on levels. All right. Where would it end? It would end tomorrow. You know, as far as level 3. Oh, it might not end tomorrow. The finale would be, you know, going into the weekend. But to me, this is level 1 drop. This is level 1 drop. Right? Peak formation. Right? Drop. Level 2, retrace. Drop. Level 3. Retrace. Back into another level. Right? We'll fall out and go into level 2, right? Where you'll look for a retrace into, again, another previous level, which actually would be your 800 EMA-ish by then in your 1 hour time frame. Okay? That's the play, in my opinion. And level 2 is really where you want to take your short from level 2. Okay? You want to take your short from level 2 because you don't know if this is level 2 is a confirmation level. All right? Right here, when you came out of level 2 into this peak formation here, that was confirmation that these 3 rises were over. The fact that you've gotten 3 drops inside of this bigger level here, 1, 2, 3 drops, is more confirmation that you're going to head down further. Right? 1, 2, 3 drops. Right? It's a little bit more confirmation that you could be heading down further. And then once you get your short from there, I mean, anything can happen. There's no reason to believe, but I have my own reasons based on this chart here. Alright. Where's my weekly? That, you know, look at how you held your Mayo your entire life. You've held the Mayo on your weekly time frame, right? Now you're just getting a rejection from it. First bear market. First bear market, you can come as low as the previous level. Level 2 will be tested. Okay? The bottom of level 2, if it holds, cool, 7K. If the bottom of level 2 does not hold, you're looking down here at the mid to lower thousands. Right? This is level 1. This is level 2 between the red and the blue. And this is level 3 as far as like your bear market cycle goes. And that could go all the way into the end of the year, where you can get the halving and still have, you know, your bear market rally. You can come to 7 first, come back up to 40, come down to 3, and then you know, or vice versa. Maybe it would be better to, in my opinion, to bottom out first. But you know, usually you would think that bull markets, you know, last longer than bear markets. You know, three steps forward, 1 step back. That's would be the general idea of things. In essence, you won't know. But it looks like you're getting a little bit of a bounce. No, you're not. You're actually heading down. Let's see if we get it. Let's see if you get the day trade. Look, down is good. Down is good. Down is excellent, actually. Because whatever CPI is, down would mean CPI is good. Up means CPI is bad, in my opinion. You know what's going on with Dixie? Of course. This matters very much. See, this is bad. Like with Dixie, well, bad for Bitcoin. Dixie, you got a nice move up, level 1 consolidation, all that, look, stop hunt into level 1 continuation. Stop hunt into Dixie means stop hunt up for Bitcoin. Which would be your day trade. We got the Brinks. Where's the Brinks? Yo. This Brinks. I mean, 2 Brinks. You got to think about what they've done. All they've done is move down. All they've done is move down since the drop. That's all they've done. You would expect a retrace. So I'm expecting stop hunt rise, stop hunt low, rise. That's what I'm expecting. Anyway. I want to wait for the Brinks, kind of. Brinks might not come on till 9. I forget when the Brinks comes on. US Brinks starts when? The last thing they did was bring it down. The Brinks started at 9. That's like 20 minutes from now. It's a long time. Where are we at with BBWP in our volatility? I mean, keeping it simple, you know, you're below your 4-hour, you know, it's just simple. It's the move is down. I don't know why people are looking up. They're looking up. Look, you would in your confluences, right? Is what you want to look for. All right? You look at your monthly, at your yearly, all right? on this chart, right? The ketchup is just laying on you. The ketchup is laying on you. All right? How often has that happened? Nearly never, really. Maybe a little bit here. A little bit here. So, okay. So, maybe you don't want to look at that. Maybe you want to look at your 6 month, right? You're at your catch-up. You're pushing up on it. Okay? But your 3 month. And when in Bitcoin's history have you gotten across of your 13 EMA? Alright? Of your 13 EMA crossing below your mustard. Did it confirm? It did. It confirmed here. Then you get the retrace back up into it for a bounce down. That confirms this for me. Right? This is huge. This is huge. Massive. Massive, massive, massive confirmation on your EMAs. Alright? Have you ever gotten it before? Probably not. Right? In its entire existence. Okay? All it's done is railroad track up. All it's done is railroad track up. The railroad tracks have never crossed. Alright? They've crossed for the first time in Bitcoin's history. This time is different. This time is different. This time is motherfucking different. Alright? M formation, level 1, level 2. And level 2 could be crazy. But in essence, you would want to see, you know, something down here. Shit can get fucking crazy. Look at these red vectors, man. Look at these motherfucking red vectors. Look at this. Look at this. This is scary as shit. Who's to say that, you know, here's a flat top, right? Who's to say that Bitcoin doesn't do this, right? Peak formation, right? Right here. Right? Where you haven't even gotten your drop. It's hard to say. This has never happened before. You would get a bounce off your 50 EMA at 8K, right? Where you just bounce around in here for a long ass time. Bounce off your 50. Finally ending your bear market, right? You now have a 50 EMA on your 3 month. You can get a bounce off that. You hold that, that's good news. But the railroad tracks will come down. You would want to see a bounce off, and you would want to see on your 3 month time frame a nice W formation inside of a previous level, right? Inside, in between the level. All right. I'd be looking at $1,000 Bitcoin. That's what I'm looking for. I know that sounds absolute insanity. It makes no sense. But to me, it does. 1, 2, 3 hits to the high. Look at this. It's up only. It's up only. There's nothing that goes up only. I'm sorry. You want to believe so, right? Vectors in a level. 2, 3 hits to the high. When do you want to go long? I would want to go long when I see a green candle on the 3 month. That would solidify a 3 month, you know, some 3 month volume that changes to green. That to me is the bottom. When all this red goes away, these are all sells, just selling, constant selling. You know, this is buying actually to me, buying at speed, right? Buying at speed. All right, you might not get that. That was the last time they bought. They bought, sold, but they bought back here, right? They bought back here. I would want, you know, it to come down. You don't want to break the thing, right? You can't break Bitcoin, but you can come down here into 1500. You can. On a monthly time frame. You know, they are long from here, short from here, long from here on your monthly. But they're also this down here. But I don't think you get that. No one's gonna wait for a $2 Bitcoin. That's not fucking happening. I'm not that dumb. But to say that Bitcoin can be $2,000 is not. You know, I don't think that's unreasonable. 3,000, 2,000. I don't think it's unreasonable. I really don't. Look at all this was created for a reason. This is straight rise. Okay? This is manipulation. Okay? All this is created to get you to think that you can long off this and long off this and long off this, and they drop the bottom out, fool you. Realize a return on everything we got, but we're going to buy back above where we bought from before, mother truckers, and you can get half of that. $1,500. $1,500 is a great buy on Bitcoin, in my opinion. But that's going to take a long time. The time is a thing. What's New York doing? I know it sounds fucking nuts. I know it does. And maybe Bitcoin is up only. And if it's up only, God bless it. God motherfucking bless it. But when has that ever been? When has that ever been true? It's actually only been true. Up only. Did we get the stop hunt? Yeah. You didn't really get it yet. See, they're waiting for the Brinks. Here it comes. Now they're short from here. Stop hunt. Rise. Come on. You would want to take that. This is dangerous, though. Dangerous. This is why you don't trade Mondays. Alright, I'm out of here. I want to watch some other stuff. Alright. What's Dixie doing? Dixie looks bullish. You're getting resistance off your off the 800 here. See how the Fibonacci works better? The Fibonacci, like the 800 EMA, everyone. To me, this is a good long on Bitcoin today on the 1 hour. That's me though. All right, peace out, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me. I love y'all.